Folks, I am nervous for this one because this is our first pop culture roundup of 2024. It has been a hot minute since I've talked to this person, and this person has gone through so many changes in this last month alone that I can't wait to get into all of the pop culture, all of the reality, but also all of her personal life. So, of course, welcome Gypsy Rose Blanchard to So Bad It's Good. No. We're welcoming the one, the only, her first appearance in 2024, Sophie Ross. How the hell are you doing? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I missed you. So I know we were just talking for like 30 minutes before we just
I know. Yeah, guys, you should have heard what we just talked about. It was amazing.
Yeah, guys, that conversation was fire, just like my fiance's dead. No.
Oh, wow. She is starting.
I was quoting Gypsy Rose. I was quoting Gypsy Rose.
She said the D was fire. You don't say dick. You said the D.
D. That's what I meant.
Okay, so listen, we're going to get into all of these like pop culture stories. We got Salt Lake, we got Beverly Hills, we got Gypsy Rose, we got a little Golden Globes red carpet that's just happening right now. And guys, I want to let you know, after the Sophie Ross interview, I will be doing a Golden Globes coverage later tonight about anything that happens at the show. So make sure you stay after the show to hear some of that if you want to. But there was an amazing event that happened last month with our own Sophie Ross. And so I need to hear
receipts, proof, timeline, screenshots, everything.
I need to hear everything about Sophie Ross's engagement. Congratulations.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry to everyone listening. Thank you. I know literally no one cares.
That's not true. Listen, there's a lot of hateful people out there. Hello to you if you're listening, but I care. I think a lot of us care. I was so damn excited to hear this because right before we recorded the week before this happened, and we were even talking about people ruining other people's engagements. And your mom reached out to me that week and said, it's happening. And I don't really talk to many people, so there was no chance I could ruin it, but I kept it secret from everybody. But tell us everything.
You know what's funny is that my mom almost ruined it. She texted, there were so many different group chats going. She texted one of the group chats that I was in, and she was like, is the proposal still happening this weekend, Henry? Didn't say any sort of euphemism. It wasn't like, is it still happening? She said, is the proposal still happening? Henry, thank God, was working from home that day, which he usually doesn't do. I was on the toilet. He grabbed my phone and said, hey, I want to send some of those Baxter photos to myself, which if you're a dog parent, you know that's like a normal thing. It's like, oh, you took Baxter, like, I'll take my phone. So he took my phone, deleted it. I never saw it. But my mom...
Wait.
Everyone was so
Amy,
at my mom.
Amy Ross almost ruined this, but I do also want to point out, I love that you outed yourself as somebody that's really, you do not bring your phone to the toilet?
No, my phone was with me on the toilet.
He came and got it.
Yeah,
okay.
Of course. I was on the toilet with my phone. He came in and was like, I want to send those Baxter photos to myself. And I was like, ugh. And when you're on the toilet, you're like, what do I, twiddling my thumbs?
That's where I do my best work. That is where but also I love that you're a new dog owner as well. So I love that you are now finding ways to really use that dog for positivity. So Amy Ross almost ruined the engagement, but it wasn't engaged.
And everyone was like so mad at her. Like my future in-laws were like, oh my God, idiot.
Oh, okay. Well, can you take us through how he did it?
Oh yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. Again, I'm sorry to everyone listening to this who literally doesn't care.
Stop it. They do care. That's not true.
I'll give you the short version. Essentially, my dad was like, hey, I'm going to be in the city for work, which he sometimes does. So I knew my parents were going to be in town like this Monday. And so Sunday, they were like, let's do brunch Sunday. We're coming in Sunday. My mom was like, I'm going to come in too because your dad has a hotel. So we were walking to brunch with my parents. And usually I would have my phone out and be keeping track of where my mom was and keeping track of where we were going. But I had Baxter. So I just wasn't paying attention. I was following Henry. And he just turned into this random park. And I was like, what are you doing? I was in such a bad mood. I was so tired. It was 11 a.m., which I usually don't do anything before noon. And I was like, what are you doing? And then I see the rose petals and That's how it happened. And he had
Wait, so was it like Carl Radke where he like had rose petals at the beach? He led you down to like Hudson River?
We've been friends for so long. You look great, by the way. Happened. And yeah, I was like totally surprised. I had no idea. And that weekend leading up to it, he had recreated our first date. We had never been back to the place where we went for our first date, where we also...
Is this where you threw up in the sink?
Yeah, I threw up on our first date and then went to another bar, and then we recreated our second date the next day. And then I had no idea that he was like recreating those dates in the lead up. So that's
wait, Sophie, you're one of the smarter people I know, and you have an investigative eye for detail. You're telling me you truly didn't piece this together. Your mom and dad are there. You just got back from a romantic vacation.
I literally thought they were there for my dad's work, because he sometimes is in town for work. And I literally had no idea. Like I was in such an annoyed mood all weekend. I just remember being like so annoyed and just like in a bad mood. I was just like, ugh. Like I didn't feel well. I remember I woke up sick Saturday and I was like, oh my God, like he was being so lovey-dovey. And I was like, get away from me. Like I was in such a bad mood all weekend. I had no idea.
Poor Henry must have been sweating that so bad that you were in a bad mood.
He also laid the perfect like trap where he was like, just be ready to pack your bags and go somewhere in January. So I was like, it's probably gonna happen in January then. So it's like for anyone planning a proposal right now who might be listening to this, if you like act like you're going to take your spouse to their favorite place the following month, like they'll have no idea. He was insinuating that we were going to go to Paris. And so I was like, we're going to go to Paris in January. Like, oh my God.
Well, maybe he's got like a shotgun wedding planned in January in Paris.
After the amount of wedding planning that I've done in the past like 2-3 weeks, however long it's been, I would prefer that.
I talked to Sophie a couple of times over the holiday, and I think one of the first when we actually did talk on the phone, you were telling me that you were already on website, you were already deep within wedding work.
Right, because it's like an awkward time, like no offense to my fiance, but it's like an awkward time to get engaged, because if you don't do the following year, like then you have to wait until the next year. You know what I mean?
I don't, but I trust you.
Oh, if you get engaged at the end of 2023 and then it's like, oh, are we going to do a 2025 wedding? We don't want to. Let's do 2024. But then by, January 2024, anyway, no one cares. I'm sorry. Let's move on.
This is ridiculous. People, I swear to God, people care. Also, one last thing before we move on, though. You showed me earlier. Can you show the audience that's watching potentially on YouTube? There's not tons that watch on YouTube, but and for the audio, what I'm looking at, folks, is a really big, fat, effing diamond ring. Her hand looks like it's illuminated in the light of the Lord of some sort. Like it's just glowing. It's like a ring light on her hand. That's wild. Did he do good on the ring?
He did amazing. It's funny because I didn't know exactly. I was like, I don't know what kind of rings I like. Saw one ring in my entire life at like a jewelry store that I actually was like, that's a gorgeous ring. I'm not like a jewelry person.
Now, so you're like Paige DeSorbo. Paige DeSorbo likes to try on other people's rings.
No, I like really related to that when Paige said that on Southern Charm. She was like, I don't understand jewelry. I don't really have an image in mind of what I want. That was me until you have to like go to a jewelry store and see like one thing that you're just like, wow, that's actually the first ring in my entire life that I've loved. So yeah,
that's crazy. I am so over the moon. When your mom told me this, I was on pins and needles all week because she was like, oh, I didn't know if maybe you'd be in New York. And part of me was like, maybe I should be in New York. Could you just imagine me busting in, covering like wall-to-wall coverage for So Bad It's Good about the engagement? Anyways, we are all so ecstatic. I think people genuinely do care. And now let's move on to horrible things that we care about and we potentially shouldn't. And that is pop culture and all of the insanity that's going on right now, because pop culture doesn't sleep, even though we've kind of been in a perpetual break for the last month. And I don't know, where do you feel like starting? Do you feel like starting with reality TV, or do you feel like starting with like true crime weirdness that's kind of reality TV based?
Oh my God. It's like, where do we start? I feel like
we got to jump in somewhere.
I feel like the elephant in the room is probably Salt Lake City. Like we kind of just have to like get it out there. Receipts, timeline,
screenshots, everything.
rehearse this moment forever because I'm a fan of Housewives and I know exactly how. Okay. So this audience, I did a full 2.5 hour line by line recap, but what are your thoughts? What did you take away from that episode? And sitting on it the last couple of days, where do you stand now with what you saw and the insanity behind the scenes?
You know, what's crazy is that, like, I really think that this is crazier in a way than Scandal. Like, I know it's not capturing, like, the national attention in the same way. I mean, it kind of is, but, like, it really was the most insane. The fact that they kept it, like, it wasn't spoiled. Like, we felt like we watched Usual Suspects or The Sixth Sense or Shutter Island. Like, I know I tweeted something about, like, M. Night Shyamalan or Agatha Christie. It was just, like, genuine. How often do you get, like, a genuine twist in reality TV?
And Sophie, in 16 episodes, they managed to have a through line the entire season of kind of mystery and suspense. And you don't get that. Like, even with Scandival, this happened halfway through the season and they hadn't filmed this. It was just what we found out behind the scenes that they were able to inject and we would watch it with a different lens. But from the beginning, there was kind of this mystery of who is Monica Garcia? Then there was these mysterious DMs that were being sent. Is Angie Katsanevis a member of the mafia? And by the way, Sophie, in the last episode, she does reveal she's Greek. And that was very exciting to find out finally. Yeah. So, and then I guess we watch it and it was this beautiful last episode where all of this stuff comes out in Bermuda. But the question remains, when did Heather Gay truly know? We have now this girl, Tanisha, that is Heather Gay's hairstylist for the last couple of years, who is allegedly was best friends with Monica Garcia. Now they are going at it in all kinds of social media. I still have so many questions, but I'm saying in terms of this episode alone, what did you think in terms of that reveal? What did you think of what Monica did? You know, because these women on that beach, when it was the four of them, the Big Little Lies moment where Meredith was like, I need to be left alone. Why do they come after us? Like, what did you think? It was so amazing. It was I mean, so truly.
Amazing. You guys, the cinematography, like, it was insane. It really was.
I mean, Scorsese literally hired this cinematographer to work on his next film with Leo DiCaprio.
He wishes. Wait, what was the question?
No, I'm just like, what do you think of what was presented on the screen, not knowing any of the stuff behind the scenes?
It was
what
crazy.
Do you think of what?
My prediction going into the episode, I was like, oh, it's going to be revealed that Monica actually owes Beauty Lab and Laser. That was the story that had been floating around, was that she had scammed Beauty Lab and Laser and that Heather was suing her. And, you know, it was all about Beauty Lab and Laser. And I thought it was, like, genuinely shocking. Like, she is an internet.
Well, you had heard the Reality Von Tease rumors, hadn't you? Like, I had heard it a couple weeks before.
I had seen them, and then that clip also had been floating around of Monica, like, joking, like, I would do something like that, but like Meredith wouldn't. And Heather was like, you would run a fake account? And Heather, when she's explaining how she put the pieces together, that is, you know, that helped her put the pieces together, apparently. But my question is, like, clearly she had it confirmed while they were in Bermuda. And we also know that Henry's dad, I believe, used to work for the FBI. So
Wait, Henry's a part of this? Your fiance is a part of this?
Did I say Henry?
Yes.
I meant Heather. Oh my God.
Oh my God. I was like, oh my God, there's a Sophie connection to the mystery?
I wasn't even picturing, I was picturing Heather.
You got wedding on the brain.
I think when I start doing like, I just finished with Henry. Heather.
Okay, so Heather, wait, this is actually new information. I didn't realize that's who she was talking to.
So I think that she actually had the FBI. That's why they like blanked it out. Like and this is purely speculative. I think that she actually had the FBI confirm it. So I think she maybe had like some inklings, and maybe she was trying to convince herself that like it wasn't true, because she was like, you know, in the whole trip, she was acting normal towards Monica. Like they were fine. And if she'd clearly been investigating this for some time, you know? So it's like, what did Heather know at that point? Because the phone call obviously confirmed it, but she clearly was like onto her.
See, I agree and disagree with you at the same time. I think Heather knew I think she knew the majority of this stuff before going in. And that clip you point out about the beach of like Monica going, I would do something like that. I think Heather is doing some of the worst acting I've ever seen, where she goes, what do you mean you would do something about, what do you mean? It's so on the nose.
Wait, I almost just said Henry again. So you think
I heard that.
So
Jesus Christ.
Heather actually like knew the entire time and was acting.
I do. And the Tanisha of it all, so what I'm confused about, and for the people that don't really mess around online, first off, you're really doing such great things for your sanity, but we are online. Good for you, you guys. But the thing is, Tanisha, Monica obviously is a very troubled person. I don't think anybody's going to argue that. I also don't think the burner account, I think most housewives probably have a burner account. Obviously, I don't think they have gone through the lengths that Monica, I do think Tanisha was a more part of the reality Von Tease account than she is letting on. And now we saw Monica saying that she saved all of these Monica was kind of a dum-dum where she voice noted everything and sent Tanisha everything. Tanisha obviously had given this all to Heather. I think Heather knew well going into the season. Also on top of the fact, Sophie, that remember now,
not just Bermuda.
Oh yeah, because listen to this. You know that Jen Blah, aka Jen Shah is trying to get a little piece of the spotlight again. Her team came out and said, listen, we sent a cease and desist to 2021. In 2021, they have the paperwork to Monica Garcia and Reality Von Tease. And also in this documentation, they said they also passed this on to Bravo and Shed Media. So also Jen Shah is a proven liar, but they put this out there. So they put this stuff, they gave this stuff allegedly to Bravo and Shed Media. Also, Jen at that point and Heather was still so far up Jen Shah's ass. There is just no way in hell that I don't believe that was thrown out to Heather. These ladies paid attention to everything. Also, where the fuck was Lisa Barlow's cybersecurity team? She says she has like where was cybersecurity team on Reality Von Tease?
Yeah, where were Lisa Barlow's 70 lawyers?
I can't believe this. This is crazy.
This is crazy. I don't know. I mean,
I think Heather plays this game better than anybody out there, and she's still sane. That's her big step up than any of these other ladies. Is she's not insane and she's not stupid, but she's grown up watching Housewives.
And it also was like a redemption season for Heather because she had a bad girls trip season. She had a bad last season on Roastless.
Rugged? You talking Housewives in the Island, baby?
So it was a redemption season for Heather, and you're insinuating that she orchestrated. She brilliantly orchestrated.
100%. But also, is it a redemption season? Well, it kind of still is, because the thing that I don't think people are paying enough attention to that like shocked me more than the Reality Von Tease was the admission directly after this revelation that Jen Shah gave her the black eye in San Diego last season. Like, you say all of these things and you say this like really like rehearsed, passionate speech, but it still doesn't answer the fact of why the F are all of you ladies so scared of Jen Shah? Like, Monica Garcia is not your issue at this point. Jen Shah, I'm telling you, there is something there that we are still not answering any questions about. You like, also, this now proves that Heather Gay was a flat out liar, not only in the series, but in the reunion to all of us, in her book, all of these things. And she teased it out. And now Jen Shah is also saying, well, Heather's a liar. That's not true at all, which we know it is true. Jen Shah's a liar.
I didn't read Heather's book. Does she talk about the black eye?
There's just like a casual mention. There's not really. By the way, the book is actually really good, and it doesn't really focus on Housewives that much until the very end. So that's why it was funny that Whitney got like kind of up in arms about the boudoir photography. You took this and made it from butthole to back. I don't like it. It was ridiculous. But
you talked about my butthole.
Yeah, I didn't. Heather being the comedian she is. I would never say that. That's not funny. I just think that Heather knew all of this. I think others were aware.
Wow. Then she's a good actress because she was like buddy with Monica for a large portion of the season. And then in the finale, she seemed genuinely like angry.
I think by the way, I still think she is genuinely angry. I think all of that's still true.
But like,
I think she is pissed.
Genuinely angry, then she was really like, it was under the surface. Then, okay, so like the phone call and everything was, and
I think the phone call was completely staged, not by Bravo. I think Heather, I think that stuff, like, guys, come on. The last day of the trip. And also, this is why I'm curious when production knew, because you have to get production to go do that beach scene with the 4 ladies. Also, isn't Angie and Monica in the house is like a less than 50 yards away. You can't see why are all the ladies on the beach hugging each other, screaming? Like, I don't understand. Like, the production had to have known. And then also production put those triangle tables together. Like, I mean, the funniest thing was Heather bringing out those little dolls. Like, this is Eunice. Pick up your doll and show us where Monica hurt you on the doll. Like, it was crazy.
The theme of this dinner is Bermuda Triangle. Mysteries.
But this is why it's so good. It's sweet. But this is why it was such a perfect episode, though, because it was so dramatic. I don't care when Heather knew, but I also think.
Okay, I have a question about the dolls really fast.
Yeah.
They made the dolls back in Salt Lake City, right?
Yeah, because it was at the butter churning event.
So Heather packed the dolls.
Yes, that's what's so great. Can you imagine going through customs and they're like, ma'am, what are these crocheted dolls? Are you smuggling balloons of heroin?
You have to declare your crochet dolls when you fly internationally. Everyone knows that.
So, like, what were the dolls there? Were the dolls part of another game? And then she was like, this will be perfect to accuse Monica of being reality Montees?
That actually is a big red flag to me. But also, the dolls were totally not, like, necessary. Like, what was...
Heather goes, my doll is side-eye Meredith, but mine is not for Meredith. It's for Monica. And it was like, and you gotta, that scene is so brilliant because they still get into a bullshit fight, like Whitney and Lisa and Meredith. They all fight about separate things. And those ladies at that point already knew because they were told at the beach. The only person that didn't know was Angie Katsanevis.
The fake fights were so, Angie K.
And what did Angie do with her? She goes, with her, remember when she goes, with her finger?
Monica, what was Monica saying where she was like pointing?
Yeah, she was like, this shit won't. And Angie goes,
and then Angie was like, this shit. She's like, stop doing that.
I've watched that clip of like, it seems like a robot.
I love her so much. Like, I love it.
Well, Angie, and you said this, and I thought you went too far on Twitter to say Angie's like the best. Yes. I think Angie gets the participation award for sticking it through, and she's given herself another season. But I'm so curious to see what she'll do with it, because I think in her inability to fully, I don't know, to fully be a part of this cast has actually made her a part of this cast, if that makes sense. Like, it went from not being invited to the Palm Springs event with Meredith to now being invited on the Bermuda trip, but she still wasn't on the beach being shared this information, even though Reality Von Tease, we still don't know if Reality Von Tease was the one that sent the tax documents. That was never confirmed.
Yes. I love how Angie K was like still excluded. Like, she was probably like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, she was just like, am I going to be asked to leave? Like, wait, they asked Monica to leave. And I also like Heather was the one to vote Monica off the island. Like, Heather is now queen again of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Yes,
also,
I also love how she was like, please pack your bag and go. Like,
the tribe has spoken. Well, and also this and I know this is conspiratorial, you guys. I'm being a real Craig Conover here, but I have a theory that the reason they didn't invite Mary Cosby is because it would have slowed things way down, because you would have had to explain to Mary Cosby about burner accounts. You would have had to explain to Mary Cosby what the F was going. Imagine Mary Cosby at that last scene of going, what are you talking about? Let's talk about Whitney more.
She'd be like,
yeah.
I know, she would not understand what was happening. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm actually, I didn't even think about Mary once the past.
Yeah, no, she wasn't missed at all.
The previous few episodes, I did not think about her at all. She wasn't missed in Bermuda one bit.
Okay, so do you think, if you were the producer of this show, what do you do at this point for season 5?
I think I feel like I would try to bring everyone back. But I feel like realistically speaking, like there's no way they'll film with Monica.
Well, they filmed with Jen Shah after all the accusations came out, even after the court stuff. Like they filmed with Jen Shah.
But Jen Shah was like telling them that she was innocent and they believed her. Like Monica's already pled guilty to them, you know?
Wait,
like, they know why he's
guilty. She pled guilty to something that's actually not a federal charge. Jen Shah lied about a federal charge. And by the way, the funny thing is the audience always knows usually. You always feel it in your gut. We all knew Jen Shah was guilty. We all were so shocked that all of these ladies like were really like, and also that was the speech got confusing for me. It was said with passion, but Heather Gay was like, we were ride or die. Some rode and some died. Da, da, da. And I'm like, yeah, but it's still at the end of the day, why? I don't understand why you did this when all of the evidence proved that you were being lied to, or you actually knew she was guilty and just didn't care at all.
Right. Wait, so do you think that Heather knew, but you don't think that Meredith, Whitney, Lisa knew?
I think that, I think that there's a possibility that some of them were like, okay, the only thing that confuses me is if this paperwork, if this 2021 cease and desist was really done, which we saw the paperwork for supposedly from Jen Shah's camp, and it was naming Monica and Reality Von Teese in 2021 before they shot this season, they knew we also saw that footage of Meredith Marks and her in that camera footage in the Aspen store. Like we knew these things. We also knew that Monica had that relationship with Jen Shah. And I was always so curious why we didn't delve into more of that relationship this season of like, how did that work? How did you guys meet? How did it fall apart? I remember the Reality Von Teese account followed me and I followed it a couple years ago. I never interacted with it, but I do remember following it when all the Jen Shah videos were getting leaked because I was like, Jen Shah's a monster. I still think that, but I don't remember any of the other stuff that Reality Von Teese posted about the other ladies. And I don't know if that's just been scrubbed or what, but I'm really curious.
It seems like Reality Von Teese did scrub her account. I'm like, she?
Well, it's another guy, and this Tanisha obviously was, I don't know. I mean, I'm curious why Heather Gay is still working with this lady at all. Even if she came clean, why would you still work with her?
Heather's not still getting her haircut by Tanisha, right?
Oh, she sure is. In fact, you'll see in like Talking Heads, like Tanisha was on camera. Tanisha was. They even credit Tanisha in some of the Instagram things I've seen. So Tanisha is still work. So my thought is like Tanisha came clean way earlier with Heather Gay. On top of this was in documentation.
That's why Heather's okay with Tanisha because she like came clean earlier. But still, it's weird. It's
very weird.
I just assumed that she was like, okay, I'm not working with Tanisha anymore. I don't know why. I just assumed that.
I just think if you're going to do the Jen Shah filming, like let Monica come. Well, see, and Monica's not my favorite character, but I will say, don't act like housewives are a place for pious, good-hearted, do everything right women when that has just never been the case with housewives. So let her come back on and hang herself further. If there is more to this story, which I think there is, I'm so excited to see this reunion. Like I want to know it all. And there's got to be other things at play. And I just think that the other ladies are potentially a little short-sighted. Think how much material you'll have going in. If not, you're going to get that season 5 premiere and it'll be called like Picking Up the Pieces. And it'll be like the ladies pick up the pieces after an ultimate betrayal. The ultimate betrayal already happened with Jen Shah. And the fact that we never got closure between these ladies and Jen Shah is still the question in my head of why didn't we ever throw her down and like get actual comeuppance? Like Monica, to me, is small potatoes in a lot of ways. Like, I'm sorry, a burner account? Lisa Rinna had burner accounts. If Lisa Rinna had lasted another season, this would have been the behavior that she would have brought. I swear to God. Yeah. Sorry, guys, I'm so passionate. I'm sorry.
I mean, we all are. We all are. I definitely still have questions about like the lawsuit. Like Jen Shah had sued
cease and desist.
Sorry, against Monica Garcia / Reality Von Teese in 2021. So if that's like public record, I have questions about like how did they not know that? Like,
and it's also this other guy Koa that was being screamed at by Jen. And the thing was, I can understand employees if they are being completely mistreated. It's not right, but I understand wanting to take out vengeance on an employer that has so treated you so horribly, they went about it the wrong way. But I'm just curious what other reality Von Teese things that they did. Like, was she a part of the Angie K financial documents? Like, I want to know that. Like, they try to pin it on Meredith.
And I also, like, I've been seeing a lot of people, like, kind of like what you're saying, where it's like, well, you guys didn't give a shit about Jen Shah, so, like, why are we supposed to care about what Monica did? But it's like, I don't know. I understand. And this is like, you know, just me, my immediate reaction. And now I'm like being a conspiracy theorist and being like, well, Heather knew the whole time. Duh. Like now it's like super obvious. Like Heather obviously knew the whole time. And if you don't think so, then like you're an idiot.
No, I'm not saying anybody's an idiot. I want to say that. I'm not saying, no, I'm just saying my personal opinion.
I'm just acting like so like holier than thou now that I come to this realization, even though 5 seconds ago I literally thought that it was like all genuine. But and I just lost my train of thought.
No, you're saying about like the paperwork, the like something about the. Now I'm like I don't even know what you were about to say, but you were saying. What did you?
Wait, what were you about to say?
No, I'm saying like, so Monica did a live right after this episode aired on Tuesday. And I asked her a question, which she answered. And I asked her, hey, did Heather
Ryan,
ever pay you back?
Wait, I lost you.
Okay.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. So Monica went on live on Instagram right after the episode aired and said, I asked her and she answered this. Did Heather Gay ever pay you back for the $700 she spent on you in the Bermuda? And she answered and she said, no, she didn't pay me back. Now, Heather Beauty Lab and Laser went on to sue Monica for $2,100 in unpaid services. And I was like, that $700 is a good part of that $2,100. But the fact that Heather didn't pay her back, but it's still Beauty Lab and Laser suing her really shows how much hatred, which I mean, probably deservedly, that Heather has against Monica, but it's a $2,100 lawsuit. And I still also am questioning Heather saying in the show that she went to buy a gift certificate for Monica and there was 4 different Monicas in the system, which I believe is true. But I also believe if you are the owner of a place
with the same birthday.
Yeah, but like, for gift certificates, I used to work at a day spa. You never had to give you never had to take down the client's information of who you were buying it for. Like, I almost think it's reverse engineering of why they think Monica, like, it feels very reverse engineered to me to come to the conclusion. Like, I don't know. There's something that's just not hitting right for me, but I love the episode.
Do you think that they actually will refuse to film with Monica for season 5?
Well, listen, let's see how good it didn't do any good with Tom Sandoval. I mean, at the end of the day, this is a job. At the end of the day, this is a show. We'll see. But I mean, there is a good contingent. I mean, Samantha Bush, Bravo historian, was like, she needs to be gone. She needs to be gone. I'm just not there yet. I feel like these ladies do a lot of wacky things, but I do understand. Lisa Barlow said in this episode, oh, are you just going to film us and then put it out somewhere when you're mad at us? That's the stuff that I can understand. Yeah. That would be crazy.
That's what I basically was trying to say before I lost my train of thought, was that I understand, like, people are like, well, if only they had that smoke for Jen Shah. And I think that the Jen Shah stuff was just like different because it wasn't, even though it shouldn't be they should have had that smoke for Jen Shah. I agree. But this is like personally, like, you are deceiving me personally, and you are invading my friend group personally. Like, they felt, I think, personally attacked by Monica in a way that like they weren't like directly scammed by Jen Shah because they weren't like elderly women. Essentially.
Well, I mean, but think about it. They get a lot of heat online, like every housewife does. Yeah. Me and you, we make memes. You say a lot of stuff on Twitter. And like, you know, I could see coming upon any of our accounts and being like, oh shit, like that really hurts my feelings. But the difference is we don't work with them directly, right? That's the difference.
Right.
But that's the thing. So obviously they are very sensitive already. This just the call is coming from inside the house. But I just think when I don't know. But by God, what a great season overall. Like, holy, you're right. It's just, this is legitimately better than Scandival. It's just that Scandival was a show that was on for 10 seasons already. And we just didn't expect it from him. Monica Garcia is a newcomer. Like, she doesn't this is, I don't know.
It was crazy. It was crazy. I wasn't prepared to immediately be like, yeah, Monica's one and done. Which like now I feel like she probably is one and done.
What a great one and done though. What a fabulous, like, I mean, really took.
Yeah.
But imagine having that come out on the final episode. How lucky that was. Like, how interesting that came out on the final episode.
And that's the other, it's like, was this supposed to be the finale? Like,
yeah.
Was that all orchestrated? Or did they decide to make this episode the finale? Because usually they don't have the finale be when they're on a trip. So,
well, we did have the postscript of Meredith and Seth in a jacuzzi. Like, you know, like we have these postscript of where they are, you know, and Seth is drinking. I'm Seth. I'm in a jacuzzi with Meredith. And also these ladies can like say how good of friends they are. Nobody fucking gave Meredith Marks a bath the whole trip. Like nobody changed rooms with Meredith for that whole trip. So how good of friends are these ladies truly to each other?
But also I would have been like, just use my bath then. Like, I'm not going to switch rooms with you, but like, you're welcome to use the bath. That's what I would have said. Like, I didn't realize why it was such a big deal. Just let her use your bath. Like, you don't need it.
Maybe she's filthy in the bath. Maybe it's like too much. Like maybe she doesn't clean up after herself.
I always want to take a bath in like Airbnbs and rentals. Like I would feel just like a little bit like I know. Also, quit me. I know. I'm not gonna like bring it up again.
No, also Meredith in that final scene, Meredith had no reaction at times where I was like, is Meredith awake? Like Meredith just like until she finally came alive.
Meredith had such a redemption season. I remember like my liking Meredith decreasing like since season 1 a little bit. Like I've always loved Meredith, but I feel like she's become less and less iconic over the past few seasons, in my opinion.
Well, she started strong this season with the Palm Springs. You can leave.
You can
leave.
Leave.
If I were to go for the jugular and talk about this the rumors, the nastiness about her, I wouldn't do that. But you know what? You want me to go there with her husband? I can go there. Don't. With me. Okay, tell her that.
I'm sorry, that's iconic behavior.
Wait, she literally sounds like Logan Roy. Have we like where did that come from?
Logan Roy died this year and Meredith Marks came alive this year. So that's
oh my god. Like the memes that it's like
exactly
died in 2023. But yeah, so Meredith Marks, I feel like just had such a redemption season to like she was so incredible this season in my opinion. I think she did do a really good job of like, especially in the finale, like or in Bermuda, I mean, when like Monica was trying to set it up to look like she had been the shit talker and the DMer. And it was kind of a layup, but Monica like flew a little too close to the sun.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I'm excited. That's what I want to know specifics about that, about her setting up Meredith. I want to know those details. Yeah. But I love Meredith in that last episode. Like, well, Heather, I have done a lot of growing in the most recent times, and I just don't react strongly to things. I just let it happen. And I'm like, you learned that in the last 8 episodes. I like that she acted like I've done a lot of work on myself, and that's why I just don't react the way I did. I think she reacted so strongly in Palm Springs that it even scared herself, and then she like made a goal to like chill out for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Anyways, this Tuesday, we get the first episode of a 3-part reunion, and I've got so many questions, so I hope Andy does all of this justice. But a lot of this is playing out online as well. I've added fights between Monica and her mom that were recorded that were released by potentially Tanisha after the fact. So it's just a mess. I mean, Monica, obviously a very troubled person, and I don't know. I'm worried. I actually genuinely am worried for Monica because it just seems like there's just a lot of mess there. So we'll see what happens. Moving on, though, let's get to another person that I think would be great on a Salt Lake City cast. The one, the only Gypsy Rose Blanchard was released from prison on December 28th. And she has had a whirlwind, a flurry of activity. Now, this I did a little bit of a segment on her on Thursday's episode where I took you through what she did. She was part of murdering her mother. There was Munchausen by proxy happening. It's a really horrific, sad story. But she served her 8 years in prison. She has come out, and you guys, you would think this is a Kardashian. This is all of a sudden we have now mixed pop culture and true crime, and it is the same, one and the same now. And I want your opinion, Sophie, about Gypsy Rose Blanchard, not the crime itself, but the hoopla the white hot burning spotlight that's on her right now and how she's handling it.
I mean, it's kind of insane. Like the world press tour and the interest. Like I had tweeted the other day how she had gotten on her Instagram 300,000 likes in less than 20 minutes, which is like better than Kylie Jenner numbers.
She's
like
7.4 million followers on Instagram right now. 7.4 million followers.
It's insane. And I feel like if anything, I'm worried for her a little bit. Like I don't doubt that she has a good people surrounding her now and that she's like a mature adult who can handle herself at this point in her life. But it's like social media, like the dopamine rush of it all. Like it's just, I don't know.
To have that many people. I mean, to have that many people really like want to be watching your every move and to treat you like a flat out celebrity. I will say, even if she is completely, if she's learned so many good coping skills in prison, I mean, I have nothing bad to say about her. I've seen celebrity mess with the best of people. And this person came from like her mom had her in like a prison where she even said prison was more freedom than the stuff that she had with her mom. Yeah. Like she also has a mentality of Arrested Development where she is, I think, stuck as a little girl in a lot of ways. And what kind of concerned me was that she was like fighting in Instagram comments, talking about what we talked about at the very beginning, her new husband, Ryan, who they met through prison pen pals. This guy, he's a special ed teacher. She had to defend him in the comments saying that she is getting the D he's given her the D. Like, that's the part that worried me is like, don't be like us. You don't have to talk about your sex life at all. Like, don't even like that truly worried me. Did it not worry you or did you just love it?
No, it definitely worried me too. It definitely did. And she, she went from being kind of exploited by her mom to now being exploited by like podcasters and the Today Show. It's like she's
The View.
The View. Oh my God, that clip from The View though was so.
Wait. Explain to people the clip
Joy Behar. So basically, Gypsy Rose is being like, what was she saying? She basically was like.
She was like, I did something wrong. I did something wrong.
I made some mistakes. I did something wrong, and Joy was like, "Don't say that. You were left with no choice." And then everyone was like, like murder is wrong. And Joy was like, oh, you're talking about that. And everyone's laughing. Murder is wrong. And Gypsy's like, yes, murder is bad. Murder is bad.
But I think that comment like really clued us into the fact of we're in a live studio audience laughing about a horrific event. And the thing is, I just almost, and like, this is, guys, I get it. Like, it's so exciting. And like, I do really root for her, but like, there should have been like a 2-month adjustment period before this. Like, there's a 4-part Lifetime docuseries that just came out. I'm like 2 episodes in. I rewatched the documentary. There's all of this stuff because I know you have to make money, but I just get scared. And that was the thing. They had a press event on Friday. Not Skinny, not our friend, Not Skinny, Not Fat, Amanda Hirsch. You had the Toast. You had somebody from Betches, actually. Shout out to Nicole.
You're missing someone very important.
Oh, Nick Vialli. Nick Vialli. Is that who you're?
What's up, Five? What's
up, dude?
What's up, Gypsy Rose? I'm sorry.
Nick Vialli was there. Nick Vial. And, I think he's getting the first podcast interview, but it was weird because all of a sudden I was seeing all of this, footage of like them asking red carpet questions of like, and it was funny. Like it was like, I got to laugh at it. And I was excited. I was genuinely excited to see it. I'm not talking about any of these podcasters because, by the way, if I was offered, I would have gone in a heartbeat. I would have completely. But it worries me because I'm like, where do we go from here? Are we really, is her best interest, like who's her Kris Jenner right now? And I just get worried. Like I was watching that Mommy Dead and Dearest and it was showing like, she was kind of like a little girl pageant queen. Her mom would take her out, act sick, but smile real big. And now I'm seeing the same behavior though, but it's in social media of like, put on that smile, Gypsy Rose. Tell the people what they want. And it seems like very similar behavior that's what worries me. So I hope there's some good people around her. That's all I hope.
She is a woman with agency. It's like not a social media agency. I mean, she probably does have a social media agency, but I think she has her own, like, she can make her own choices. If this is making her happy and if it's what she wants to do, then good for her. But again, it's like, I really hope there are people like that, you know, have her best interests in mind. And
yeah, and I don't know this Ryan guy. Like, I mean, like, I listen, I watch Love After Lockup. That's all I know about prison romance. And sometimes that seems to be like a little hard when you actually start living with somebody after you've just been pen pals and seeing them here and there. And when you throw a physical relationship, I don't know, I'm really worried. And I do wonder, like, how she in her head is dealing with this and like what she thinks about what her future is. Like, her big goal was to meet Taylor Swift at the NFL game. And then they said she couldn't go to that. Like, I feel like we're going to get that Taylor Swift photo eventually. Do you think Taylor Swift would take a picture with her, or do you think she would shy away from this? To me, this would be an actual worry. Like, Taylor would worry about this, what the right thing to do here is.
No, I feel like Taylor would like embrace
really?
it. I feel like she would. I feel like it's been like who would have thought that Taylor Swift would be holding hands with Brittany Mahomes like every night? Like
that's a sports reference, you guys. Brittany Mahomes is Jackson Mahomes' wife, right? Yeah.
No, Patrick Mahomes.
Sorry, you guys.
Soccer brother. Wait, but what if Brittany Mahomes, Taylor Swift, and Gypsy Rose become like the new like Paris Hilton, Britney Spears?
I made the meme. Sophie, I made that meme the other night with them walking out of a restaurant, and I was like, "This is." Yes, go look. That was like my Friday night meme when I started seeing all of this, because I said she's in New York. I'm manifesting this as like a power. Yeah, it was just like a couple IG posts ago. Let me know.
Oh my God! Wait, yes. I didn't know.
Yeah, I read that because I thought, well, that's the weird celebrity that we have going on right now. It's not just like pop songs and movies and TV. Now we're like true crime is in the mix. And I think at the end of the day, I worry about her overall, but I know she's making bank. So hopefully it all works out.
The internet, public opinion, like they'll move on in 2 seconds. So like she should, juice it for all it's worth right now.
Did you follow the Curious Case of Natalia Grace at all?
Yeah.
Did you watch any of the Natalia Speaks, because they had the second part that aired this past week?
Oh, I didn't. I actually didn't know that. I saw people referencing it and I was like, do I still care? I do. I didn't watch it.
Well, it's 6 episodes when it should have only been 4, but the very last minute of the last episode is so wild. And it just really threw how I felt about the whole series into a different, and I had Beth Karas, the legal analyst that's on that documentary this week on the show. And she was so excellent, so amazing, but I really thought it's so hard. I think about reality television of making a television show, and at the end they say Natalia will return. So now they're teasing another series with this. And I just think man, this is wild what we're doing with mystery and true crime. And we're airing it like it's reality television. And in a sense it is. It's just weird. I don't know. I'm trying to
recommend watching the Natalia Grace speak.
I do overall, but I wish there was a 1.5 that you could watch TV on like you do with podcasts. Because I wish you could speed through
6 hours out of my life.
Well, her adoptive father, Michael, is on it again, and they face off. Remember Michael, what a kook he was? The reality, he was Christine was tearing us apart. They pray together, Natalia and Michael, and it is those moments were so good because it's so bizarre and weird, and they do it so well. But some of the other stuff, I'm oh, we know this. She was a little girl. They actually do dental records and prove that she was a little girl. She wasn't a grown adult. That's the mystery is over within the first episode of this new thing. But then at the very end, there's something that gets thrown back out there that says, okay, there is some interesting behavior with Natalia still that they're going to potentially look into.
Okay, now I feel like I need to watch it.
Okay, well, now interesting behavior. Let's move on.
By the way, you guys, I'm sorry. I got a text because I just checked my phone to look at your meme. Apparently, the Golden Globes are airing right now, and apparently Joe Coy is bombing.
Oh my God! Wait! I just got a text from my friend Maritza, and showing Timothy Chalamet and Kylie Jenner kissed at the Golden Globes dinner. What if we kissed at the Golden Globes dinner? Look at this. Do you see this?
I will fucking kill myself in front of you and all of your viewers. How about that, Ryan?
Well, can you make it audio friendly so we can play on the audio as well? Oh my God, they're kissing at the Golden Globes table.
Oh my God.
Wow. Oh my God. Okay, somebody's already making.
so they were dates to the Golden Globe? Like,
somebody's TikToking their reaction.
Wait, so were they on the red carpet together?
No, I don't think they were on the red carpet, but they are in the tables. Kylie is sitting with Timothy, unless Kylie was like a waiter and then just sat down next to Timothy at a proper moment. But I think they're sitting together. I'm sorry. It's going to be okay. Like, also, like, we all go through bad parts of our lives. I don't think this is forever, Sophie. You're engaged. You're good. Like, you're fine. Think about yourself. Think about Henri. Come on.
Henri.
Well, this is what Kris Jenner. Hats off to Kris Jenner. You did it. You got a Golden Globes kissing photo. And at this point, I think only the Golden Globes needs that heat more than Kylie and Timothy does. I think that's good publicity for the Golden Globes right there.
True.
Yeah. Okay. We're already so deep into this, but I want to get some quick takes on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. What do you think about, I think, it's like kind of after watching Salt Lake, it's so tepid.
I'm caught up on Beverly Hills now, but yeah, it still isn't like doing it for me this season, really. And I feel like it's very like hit or miss for some people. Some people are loving it, and some people are like, what is this season? This season is like a C for me. Just like flat. But it got such huge ratings this past week's episode. Like by the way, Bravo across the board is like killing it on the ratings right now. But Beverly Hills got almost twice the ratings that Real Housewives of Salt Lake City did this week. Like, and imagine the difference in quality. It proves that life isn't fair, that we don't live in a meritocracy.
What do you think of Kyle and Morgan Wade? We're getting a lot of paparazzi photos of them in their Mumford and Son hats.
I'm good for them. Like,
I don't care. I just want them to like let us know and stop teasing it already. Like, I'm good.
Kyle and Mauricio will like definitely file for divorce and finalize their divorce like in 2024.
You really think the divorce? I think they're going to stay married but have other relationships.
I guess, yeah, that's a possibility. That's a possibility, probably.
I think they'll always be family, but I'm so curious. But the other thing is that age difference between Kyle and Morgan is very interesting in terms of like the close to 30-year age difference. But like, I'm a Kyle fan, even though I think sometimes she's a little monopolizing, like she's a little bit of a, like Kathy said, a martyr at times. I do really support, I don't know, this overall, just comparing it to Salt Lake isn't that exciting, but what did you think of the Southern Charm finale?
Oh, JT. I love JT. Like, JT.
Come in my face, boy. Come at me, boy. I'm gonna push me, boy.
And meanwhile, he is standing on a stool.
He's kneeling, like his little knees are on the stool.
His little knees are on the stool. And I think someone tweeted that like someone's boyfriend was like watching Southern Charm with them for the first time and didn't realize when they first like saw it that JT was on a stool. And then when they zoomed out and it showed that JT was actually on a stool.
That's such good television to me. That's so good. Like, it's so good.
Like, he is a fantastic addition. Austin is a piece of shit. Like, Austin is such a piece of shit. I think
what was Austin thinking doing those talking heads of like, yo, I get it. JT's jealous of me. And by the way, he was like,
I get the girl. Like, guys like JT, they don't get the girl. I get the girl. Like, I got the girl. He loves Taylor. I got Taylor. It's like, so admit it.
Yeah, like he's telling his truth, but I can't believe he would actually say that out loud.
I know, he's so embarrassing. And I think that Olivia really, really did become like the major protagonist. Like, she kind of went from zero to hero. Like, I remember everyone was like, oh my God, please,
I agree.
This little Nepo baby, like annoying, like fake love interest last season. And then this season, she was great. Like, you really feel her pain. Obviously, you know, she went through a tremendous loss with losing her brother. And also just like the deceit, like, Taylor is the new villain. Like, Taylor
doesn't seem to understand I don't see why Taylor doesn't understand what the big deal is. She's acting like a man on Southern Charm rather than a woman on Southern Charm.
Well, she's like, I said sorry. Like, what else do you want? It's like,
I said it 4 times. That's it. I'm not saying it more than 4 times.
Yeah, like, that's not how apologies work. That's not how forgiveness or life works. And she also is like, I've gotten cheated on by Shep 25 times and I forgave him. Like, I'm a forgiving person. It's like, oh my God. Like, you literally don't get it. You don't get it.
There are times where I think Shep looks at Taylor and is like, what did I create here? Like, I created a monster. Yes. Like, she doesn't seem to like.
Yeah. And during their conversation, her conversation with Shep, and she's like, so you wouldn't care if I dated someone? He's like, no, like, I want us to both kind of move on. She was like, well, what if I dated Austin? Like, now she's just like weaponizing.
Oh yeah,
like,
I thought she was gonna go out of that scene and go make out with JT. Like, I thought that, like, she was like, what else can I do to upset him at this point? And it's sad because you see a lot of those people of like when you're powerless, and sometimes women can be in that situation where they do want to get like payback for this behavior. I do understand it to a degree, but man, it makes her look bad overall. And I want her to look better than this. And I'm just so curious where we go. But this JT also, he tells Taylor that he's falling in love with her. And she's like, yeah, we laugh. It's a good time. Like, I will say I empathize with what, I empathize, but like he's lost in the sauce. He can't see clearly. Like, this girl would not be good for him right now. And also, he's like, listen, I'm sure this guy has like skeletons in his closet, but I do believe that he truly does have great feelings for Taylor. It's just like, why would you?
I agree. Like, until someone proves to me that he's not a good guy, like, I think JT is a good guy. Like, nice guys finish first. Have you ever seen a movie? Like, nice guys always finish. And, wait, what else?
Shep also, it was like the miscommunication of like them thinking that Shep was going to take Taylor back, and also Austin thinking that Olivia was going to apologize to him. Like, how, in what world would Austin ever think that Olivia, and also Olivia said it brilliantly of like, dude, I've got a few things that are going on right now. Like, that was a line that like really rang true to me personally, where I was like, dude, like when you deal with a death with somebody, it's like, you're dealing with that. Like, you are in a different headspace. There are full days that I don't remember around my, like, the funeral and all that stuff where like, I think I texted with people or talked to people. I don't remember. Like, they'll be like, oh, I'm like, oh, did you? Like, I don't remember. Your mind is going through so many things. And I just thought it was so another kind of thing of like a narcissistic tendency of Austin thinking that she was going to apologize to him because they had some laughs about the Oscars over text messaging.
Yeah. And I love when she was like, I have enough going on. I have more going on than having to apologize to your weird ass. I was like, get him again for me.
Where do you think Austin can change at this point? Like, or it will be another decade of this behavior before? Because like Craig Conover, a shining example of somebody that seems to truly have improved, and they're best friends. So I would think Craig would rub off on Austin at some point.
I mean, you would think so, but also like, look at Shep. Like, I feel like Austin, like, he has the, it's like that meme of like, which way he's going to go down. Is he going to go down like the Craig path of maybe like growing, improving? I mean, and I say that like with a little bit of, a grain of salt, because Craig knows how to put on a show on Southern Charm versus when he's on freaking Winter House and Summer House and is being filmed 24 hours a day, in my opinion.
Or is he going to be Shep, you mean? Or is he going to turn into Shep?
Exactly. And I think that we're seeing him kind of morph into Shep a little bit. I don't know. You
know what I love? I love that it was a very throwaway scene, but Craig and Paige driving to Whitney's party, and they talk about cell phone reception and thermonuclear. He's like, obviously you don't know about thermonuclear design. And I was like, and they both were kind of, and I was like, oh my God, they're both conspiratorial people. They're both conspiracy nuts. Like, I have a feeling I would pay good money to have a 30-minute straight conversation watching them go back and forth with Craig explaining some of his YouTube theories on the world and government and space lasers. I think that's the only thing I can ding Craig on at this point. But I don't know. So overall, it was a great season of Southern Charm, I thought.
It really was a great season. Like, I really enjoyed it. And also, like, Taylor, just like one last thing about the finale, how she keeps being like, I'm sorry, I'm attracted to the assholes. And it's like, you don't have to like degrade yourself into saying, I'm only attracted to assholes when you're just not attracted to JT, and that's fine. Like,
yes. Most people aren't attracted. Don't make a blanket statement like that at all.
She's like, he's just too nice. And it's like, you're going to pretend that if JT turned into an asshole that you would suddenly be attracted to him? Like, obviously not.
Yeah, this poor JT's going to go kill somebody in the off season just to be a bad boy. Like, how bad do you want it, boy? Like, how bad do you want? Like, he comes back with face tattoos and things like that.
Yeah, like he like committed a quadruple homicide. He's like, how bad do you want it, babe?
Yeah. Oh my God, not this bad. My God. Oh my God. I want to say, I told the audience, I talked to somebody a couple of weeks ago on the old cellular telephone, and I don't know if I should share it with the audience yet because there's a potential I'm going to get them on the show. But I had a conversation with somebody involved in reality television out of the blue that almost, I was so scared. I thought it was a prank. And I talked to this person for like 30 minutes, and I don't think I can share it yet because I don't want to blow it, but I really like this person, and I'll make sure Sophie's on when I do reveal who this is, because it was just wild. Somebody was guessing, actually, like somebody was saying it was Anne-Marie Wiley from Beverly Hills. I was like, fuck no, I don't care about Anne-Marie Wiley.
Who the fuck cares about Anne-Marie?
I know who. No, I don't care at all.
So funny if you were like building up like a top secret like Bravo celebrity guest, and it was Anne-Marie.
Yeah, it's from her 1.5 episodes on season 13 of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Listen, do you have 10 more minutes? I know we've gone a little long here. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't even notice what time it was. Yeah.
Time flies when you're talking shit about housewives. The White Lotus, you guys, the White Lotus, they had their first 2 seasons. It's been amazing. They announced their season 3 cast. This is the HBO Max show, and I wanted to get Sophie's take on this. The number one for me is Parker Posey. Parker Posey has been added to this cast.
Yes. Brian, also, I feel like since you're maybe Generation X.
Yeah. I think so. By the way, to be honest, I don't know which generation is which. Like, and that's how old I don't know. Like, I did read something about Jodie Foster complaining about one of the generation, Gen Z, and I agreed with Jodie Foster. Like, but I'm not at Jodie Foster's age. But I will say, wait, Parker Posey for my generation is huge. Yes. Is the biggest get.
I was talking to her, talking about her with just one of my girlfriends a couple weeks ago, and talking about Best in Show, how much we love Parker Posey. Just like we just
Party Girl, also so many great movies
about her. And my girlfriend was like, "Wait, I just watched a movie. Wait, Ryan, you're frozen. Okay, I have you."
Yeah.
She goes, "I just watched this really weird Parker Posey movie. You should watch it. House of Yes. Have you?"
Oh my God, I love that movie. It's based on a play, actually. It's based on a play.
For the first time, just like 2 weeks ago, and now seeing this Parker Posey news, I am over the moon. I'm more excited about this news than I am about this.
She pointed to her ring, folks, but I'm more excited about the ring than Parker Posey. But the thing is, this season is allegedly probably not going to have Jennifer Coolidge unless it's in a dream sequence. So Parker Posey coming in, I think, is like filling that Jennifer Coolidge absence very nicely. But we also have the actress Michelle Monaghan, who I think is a fabulous actress. You have Jason Isaacs, who's amazing. You have Natasha Rothwell, who was actually an employee of White Lotus season 1. She's coming back. You have Leslie Bibb, who I think is a really good actor as well. And these are just some of the names. I'm sure there's a lot. Yeah, because I heard a rumor that Bella Thorne was actually cast in season 3, but we have not seen her name yet. But I saw.
Take it from someone who's watched American Horror Stories and all of the Ryan Murphy crap that she gets cast in. Bella Thorne can't act. Like, I would actually be like, she's not.
You know, to be honest, I don't think I've ever seen Bella Thorne do a role unless I'm forgetting something.
I also watched some like Freeform show with her. Like, she's just is not a good actress. I would be like really upset if Bella Thorne was like I feel like it's the most coveted role you can have nowadays is a White Lotus role. Like,
yeah,
Bella
it kind of is. Well, I'm really excited. And by the way, first day of filming starts today, you guys. So this was really, it's funny how they kept a lid on some of these castings, but they are going into production today. They are starting to film. And I just hope that it's as good as the first 2 seasons or somewhere near, because I want Mike White to completely succeed. So I'm really excited. It would have been quicker except for the writers and actors strike. So that's interesting. Now I'm going on the Daily Mail really quick. There's a lot of Taylor Swift has shown up to the Golden Globes in a beautiful green dress. And the fashion, I'm going to be doing a fashion segment, you guys, on Tuesday's episode. But I don't know fashion that well. Like, I was looking at Selena Gomez's dress and I thought it was pretty. And then I was like reading things of like, this is the worst look ever. And I just don't understand fashion.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. This is my favorite part of award shows. Is
really?
like,
I just don't even know how to describe what they're wearing half the time.
So scary. Oh my God, her
what?
dress.
I thought it was pretty. Like I thought it. Why is it bad?
Why is it bad? The cutouts, the appliques, the belt, the color, the underskirt. It's like all a little too much. It's way too much happening at once. Versus
what are appliques? What do appliques
like
mean?
The little like flower things on the front of the dress.
Okay.
That is not good. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
Okay, jump scare.
Okay. Well, I mean, can you look up, see if you can see a picture of Kylie Jenner and what she wore? Did she wear black leather?
It looked like in the photos with Timothy that she was wearing like black lace. And you can only see, I don't think she went on the red carpet. You can just see her. Jump scare again.
Wait.
I keep doing that like fake jump scare scream and Baxter, the dog, is barking. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to like body shame, age shame, none of those things. I'm just plastic surgery shaming. We've known this. She's kind of reached the point of
Kylie.
Yeah. Her face looks like it looks hard. Like it looks like the cheeks are like the jigsaw cheeks. And it's just from just like the dim, like she didn't do the red carpet. She's just in the dimly lit like room with Timothy. And it's bad. It's bad for her.
TMZ, you're right. I opened up TMZ and it already says Golden Globes 24 host Joe Coy rattles off uneven jokes in opening monologue. So I'm excited to see these uneven jokes. But this was a huge get for Joe Coy. Like this is a big opportunity for him.
I feel bad because I'm like, I'm always rooting for like anyone that's not Jimmy Kimmel hosting these.
Wait, what's wrong with Jimmy Kimmel hosting these? What if it was Jimmy Fallon? I know you don't like...
Do you know me or do you not know me? Jimmy Kimmel is the most bland, boring, predictable, like...
Wait, I thought it was Jimmy Fallon.
No, Jimmy Kimmel hosts the Oscars every single year and the Golden Globes and he just like hosts everything. And I'm like, why are there are other hosts out there? It pisses me off.
I will say, I was watching like what little red carpet footage I could, because E didn't do their red carpet coverage, which I think is like so insane. I think there's so many good people out there that could do red carpet coverage. We're just not being inventive for like a world full of influencers and people that share their personalities. We are so uninventive. Like we should be like killing red carpet footage in the year 2024. And the fact that people are just giving up on it is so weird.
Yeah, there's no Joan Rivers.
Like, well, Northwest is like the closest we have to Joan Rivers. Northwest would rip these ladies a new asshole, but I don't think she should be on TV. Okay, finally, the only other story that just happened over the weekend involves Real Housewives of Orange County. The Tres Amigas have broken up, you guys. The Tres Amigas of Shannon Beador, Vicky Gunvalson, and Tamra Judge. They have gone their separate ways, and now it is Dos Amigas with Vicky and Shannon. And Tamra, literally, did you see this, Sophie? That Tamra was tweeting that it felt like she took the biggest dump of her life.
Biggest dump of my life. Do we know what happened?
Okay, so like there was a lot of like back and forth with how if she supported Shannon or not. Tamra went on in her tweets to be like, I went and filmed season 2 of The Traitors right after this happened, so I couldn't be supportive if I wanted to. She had made up with Alexis Bellino, which Alexis Bellino is supposedly dating John Jansen, which is like the stupidest, grossest thing ever. Yeah. But Tamra said, I already made up with Alexis Bellino at BravoCon, so it wasn't that. But I don't know. Vicky is saying they've all unfollowed each other. Vicky is saying that she called Tamra out on being a loyal friend, and I don't think Tamra liked that. But Tamra, in true pettiness, has announced her and Freddie Mellencamp are going to do a live podcast in San Francisco with a bunch of celebrity guests, I believe on the same night as a Dos Amigas show. I don't know, man. I just don't. It's like Tamra's one of those people. I just don't. Tamra's like good at the game, but I just think. I don't know. Like it's so, I don't know. Like Shannon and Vicky are very unique personalities. Tamra, it's like the weird one that supposedly grounds them like gives them like a foundation. Like she's not insane, but she acts insane. It's confusing to me.
I actually agree with you. But it's like rinse and repeat with them. This always, how many falling outs have they had? Like,
yeah. And by the way, they're starting to film in like 14 days. So isn't it weird how this always happens around filming? I swear to God now, Sophie, I feel like so conspiratorial because part of me is like, are they all just in on it? And this is like part of the action. Like Tamara's like, follow my lead. This is going to be great. Like part of me is like, guys, at this point, you can't like after being quote unquote friends all these years, you can't like just like, listen, let's wait a week. Cooler heads prevail. You go on social media, say it feels like you just took a huge dump after like dumping your friends. Like that's so weird to me. And it's so, I don't, there's part of this that I don't even want to believe. Part of me wants to believe that Tamara is self-producing here, but I don't know. And Tamara and Freddie live. Would you go see Tamara and Freddie live? Freddie Mellencamp and Tamara live?
If you paid me like a significant amount of money, probably. Otherwise, actually, I mean, if I were with you, I probably would go just to make fun of them, just like we did with what's his name? Joe.
Oh, well, we saw Joe Gorga in Jersey. Like I dragged Sophie to that and that was an experience.
True. The Tamara Trace Amiga stuff is just like not. If this is all to like drum up ratings and interest in like the OC, like try something else. Like I think that Tamara actually made me lose interest in this past season of OC because I remember I was like, for so long, I was like, I still have the finale and the reunion episodes to catch up on. I never watched them.
I liked the season. I thought it was good, but I didn't think it was as good as like, I thought it was a good start, but I do think like Shannon at this moment is like going, like Shannon has a lot of issues and like she needs as many solid people around her. And I'm sorry that John Jansen out, Alexis Bellino, Tamara, even if you made up with Alexis Bellino beforehand, before any of this happened, once this happens, you got to realize what a huge blow that is to Shannon. Like unless you're just like holding all this information, but like, I do think that just seems so petty. And it seems like you do got to stand up for Shannon in certain ways. Like, even if you like Alexis Bellino, then fuck John Jansen. You got to say, this guy's a bad guy, Alexis. We're made up. You shouldn't be with him. He's got a lot of issues.
Wait, so Alexis Bellino is 100% full-time next season, right?
No, she's not yet, actually. In fact, I don't know if I'm allowed to say why, but
everyone saying that?
Well, because they were putting it out there as like, so part of the thing housewives do now is they put out this information like, oh, look at this to kind of get that buzz started. We see it every season. So that's what was happening. So it's a real possibility, but they have not yet come to terms. It's a real possibility. Also, Vicky was only offered a friend of role. And so part of me thinks that they're almost drumming this up to get Vicky definitely on the cast. Like, what if Tamara's drum? I don't know. I don't know. And finally, guess what today is? Raquel Levis's podcast comes out today. We're competing with Raquel Levis today, Sophie.
Oh my God. That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I'll be doing a full recap later this week on So Bad It's Good. So if you don't want to listen, I'll walk you through everything. Sophie, what do you have to tell us besides being engaged? Is there anything you recommend us to watch? Is there anything, how do we support you?
First of all, my future mother-in-law got me Rhode Beauty like lip peptide.
That's Hailey Bieber's makeup company, right? Hailey Bieber.
I actually love it. So if you saw me applying this during this, if you're watching YouTube, yeah.
Shout out to Hailey
Beauty. Also, I am on Christie's X Knows All podcast.
Christie's been on the show. I've been on Christie's. She's an amazing podcaster.
Christy is great. We did a whole episode about Shannon Ford because I just didn't understand like what the whole lore is with Shannon Ford. So she like tells me everything about Shannon Ford. So that's a fun episode that just came out yesterday. And yeah, that's about it right now.
I think this is a great start to the year, and I hope you guys are getting a great start to your new year. Your new year. Sophie will be back all year. Thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you for the people that are kind. Thank you for everybody out there. And we will talk to you very soon. Bye.
Bye.